Cole Palmer is an absolute machine of a footballer. What happened is a panic buy by Chelsea after they failed to secure the services of Micheal Olise from Crystal Palace will not only go down as one of the best transfer bargains, but one of the best signings in Chelsea and Premier League history. A player who would have likely stayed in the shadow of Phil Foden had he stayed in the blue side of Manchester is now the key man leading the Chelsea attacking line and putting experienced veterans and big signings like Raheem and Christopher Nkunku to shame. As recently as his last match against Everton, Palmer scored 4 goals, including a record-breaking hat-trick in 16 minutes. And in the home game before that, he scored a hat-trick. Everyone is talking about this shining light in Chelsea's underwhelming season, yet nobody seems to be looking deeper into Palmer. Because if you further examine this young Englishman, you'll notice that something is happening with Cole Palmer that nobody is talking about. In this video, we'll show you what makes Cole Palmer so deadly and why the league should keep their eyes on him. But do you know what else we can show you? Amazing football content that you can only get from this channel. So why not subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss anything from Footballers Weekly. Also, like the video and share so more people can enjoy amazing content from this channel. And ring the bell notification so you never miss a video from this channel. But with that said and done, let's explore the parts of this machine. Cole Palmer represents something not seen in Chelsea games. The hybrid between a winger and a midfielder who can transition between both roles. The closest they've had to this kind of player was 2021-22 Mason Mount, who was exceptional but nowhere near the level of Palmer. Manchester City has this player in Phil Foden or Jack Grealish, and Arsenal does in Kai Havertz or Martin Odegaard. And both teams have something in common: Pep Guardiola's influence. It's no surprise that Palmer learnt to play this role when he learnt most of his trade as a footballer from Manchester City's youth ranks and senior team that play Guardiola's trademark style of football. Guardiola emphasises positional play, where players occupy specific spaces on the pitch to create triangles and overloads. Palmer thrives in this system as his movement is intelligent and creates passing movements for teammates. At Chelsea, even though they might play with a slightly different structure, the core concept of occupying space effectively would have been ingrained in Palmer during his time under Guardiola. Pep's teams are known for their intricate passing networks and ball retention. Palmer demonstrates excellent close control and passing ability, allowing him to link up effectively with teammates and progress the ball through short, quick passes. This philosophy would have been drilled into Palmer during training sessions, making it second nature for him, even in a new team. Guardiola prioritizes technical proficiency. Palmer's dribbling ability and close control are exceptional, allowing him to glide past defenders in tight spaces. Guardiola's focus on technical drills in training would have honed these skills in Palmer, making him a nightmare for defenders to handle. The first touch is crucial in Guardiola's system, allowing players to control the ball quickly and maintain possession. Palmer's first touch is excellent, allowing him to receive the ball in tight areas and quickly turn to create space or initiate an attack. The skill is a hallmark of players who have come through Guardiola's tutelage. Guardiola's wingers and attacking midfielders are expected to be creative with their movement, constantly seeking out pockets of space to exploit. Palmer's movement off the ball is intelligent, creating space for himself and his teammates. Guardiola's coaching would have emphasised creating diagonal runs, dropping deep to receive the ball and exploiting channels between defenders, all aspects we see in Palmer's game today. Guardiola's attackers prioritise the final pass over individual glory. While at Manchester City, Palmer was coached to look for the killer pass to dissect the defence. This philosophy would have influenced Palmer's decision-making in the final third, even at Chelsea, where he might be encouraged to take on more shots at goal. It also helps that he's the main penalty taker of the club, as further emphasised by his manager Mauricio Pochettino, but if you look deeper, you'll see that there's something people don't bring up often, which makes him a scarier player than he already is: his age. Cole Palmer is soon to be 22 years old and already has what many in the squad lack: trophies. Lots of trophies. Raheem aside, he's the only current Chelsea player that has won the Premier League, and other than the likes of Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva and Reece James, he's the only Champions League winner. The FA Cup winners in the Chelsea squad are sparse as well. Guess what? Palmer has won all 3 and is the only player in the current team to have done it. This means Palmer not only stands above the rest in terms of overall performance, but also pedigree and trophies. Recently, he won the London Football Awards Men's Young Player of the Year for 2024. ahead of players like Bukayo Saka, who's in a title race, while Palmer is in 7th place. That only goes to show the brilliance of his individual ability. Speaking of individual ability, another scary thing about Cole Palmer is how he can put on splendid individual displays even when his team is playing crap. These are some of his standout performances in West London so far. As just said, there's his game against Everton where he scored 4 goals. This was a phenomenal performance by Palmer. He scored a perfect hat-trick, showcasing his clinical finishing ability. News outlets like Metro UK even landed him as one of the best players in the league after this match. The match against rivals Manchester United was another impressive outing for Palmer. He scored another hat-trick, getting the last 2 goals in injury time, showcasing his attacking prowess in a high-profile match and solidifying himself as Chelsea's go-to clutch player. He bagged a brace in a 2-2 draw against Burnley, scored and assisted against Newcastle United. He assisted 2 of the 3 goals against Crystal Palace, and the match against Luton Town marked Palmer's breakout moment at Chelsea. He scored a brace and provided an assist, leading Chelsea to a thrilling 3-2 victory. This performance showcased not just his goal-scoring ability, but also his vision and playmaking skills. Yet, following their loss to Man City, Palmer's old club, Chelsea will be going trophyless this season and won't have European qualifications. Clubs are swarming around Palmer like bees to honey, and if the contract stuff doesn't get sorted out to convince him to stay, he might be out. If Palmer goes out, Chelsea will struggle hard as they'd be in a relegation scrap without him. Still, with his market value up 60 million plus English tax, expect Chelsea to make the kind of money they made from selling Hazard. Still, Chelsea should hope he doesn't leave, as he's the closest thing they've had to a Hazard regen, while also being a Lampard regen. And that right there is what is happening about Cole Palmer. He's a generational talent who's challenging for the Premier League Golden Boot and Assist Awards. His stats are ridiculous. He has the trophies, and he's going to be a big name as he progresses in his career. But do you know what else is as good as Cole Palmer? Being subscribed to Footballers Weekly, which you can do by clicking the red button, ringing the bell, and making sure you comment your thoughts on Cole Palmer below. You never know, he might read them.